What's up, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? The time has finally come to welcome you all to this channel's first ever Pokémon Violet Hardcore Nuzlocke. Now, I've slightly altered some of the rules to better suit this game, so check this out. True to a standard Hardcore Nuzlocke fashion, number one rule is if a Pokemon faints, it is gone forever. It is considered dead. No items are allowed in battle, such as potions, healing items, or X items. However, held items are okay. No free switch-ins. Now, unfortunately, this game does not give an option to choose set mode. However, whenever we KO a Pokemon and it asks if we would like to switch out, we have to manually select no every time. I can only catch one Pokemon per route, but I get to choose which one. That way, we can play with a bunch of the awesome new Pokemon in this game. First things first, we gotta pick our starter, and we choose Sprigatito, of course, definitely the coolest starter out of them all, in my opinion. Our first battle is with Nemona. She is our rival in this game, and she has a Quaxly. She always picks the starter that is weak to the starter you choose. Both of our Pokemon are level 5, which brings us to rule number 5. We are not going to be playing with any hard level caps. This is a blind run after all. I didn't want to look ahead to spoil any of the boss battle teams. However, we're not going to go out of the way to do any excess grinding or intentional over leveling. So here we go. The run begins. This first battle is pretty easy. We just 2-piece him with the Leafage, and Quaxly goes down. Now, don't worry. We're going to fly through some of this early game. It's really easy stuff. Our first encounter is a Lechonk. Now, this is a force encounter where the game teaches us how to catch Pokemon, so we're not going to count this. We're going to go ahead and skip Lechonk for now. We head down the first route of the game and choose our first official encounter, Tarantula, a cool new bug-type Pokemon. So we're going to go ahead and catch it easy peasy first try. Next, we find Miraidon on the beach. We give him a sandwich to bring him back to life and follow him into the cave, I guess. Now we look for our next encounter. There's not much to choose from in this cave, but we're going to go with Diglett. Pretty good to have a ground type. We've got an electric immunity, and we add our third Pokemon to the team. Now, apparently, Miraidon has led us straight into the Lion's Den, or should I say the Houndour Den? This thing is super scary, and it's level 40. There's no way this is real. How in the world are we going to fight this thing? But luckily, just in the nick of time, our boy Miraidon comes to the rescue, saving Sprigatito from certain death and scaring off the Houndoom. Such an epic cutscene. We just barely make it out of the cave, continue our adventure, and our new friend Arvin challenges us to a Pokemon battle. He leaves with Squirtle, and we send out our main man, Sprigatito. We outspeed and attack first with the Leafage. A bit scary. It's not dealing that much damage. Squirtle retaliates with Bite, and he's not dealing much damage to us either. We attack with the second Leafage, and a second Bite hits us as well. Still not going down to the third Leafage. Squirtle messes up and goes for a Tail Whip, and now we can finish him off with the Bite. Now, there's not really much he could have done there. He didn't have a type advantage on us. We had a 2-level advantage against him, but later on as we progress through the game, a 2-level difference will not mean much. And now it's encounter time. We, of course, are going to choose Fido. How could you not choose Fido? He's an adorable puppy Pokemon. Now, for the first time, we get into some hot water. This is a random trainer battle. We defeat the Azurill easily. We take a bit of water gun damage in the process, but now his next Pokemon that he sends out is the real problem as Houndour joins the battlefield. Still a bit of PTSD from that Houndoom cave, but we start the battle with a Tackle. Houndour fires back with the Ember, and we're dealing about the same amount of damage. We hit him with another Tackle, and Houndour goes for Leer. Our defense falls, and this can be super dangerous. A Tackle's not enough to finish him off, but Houndour messes up and goes for the Howl. We finish him off with Tackle, but that could have been super bad with our defense drop from the Leer. If Houndour went for a physical move like Bite or Tackle or something, we could have been toast. Next, we do some quick battles to get our newer Pokemon up to speed, and this is such a cool mechanic in my opinion. It's cool watching your Pokemon battle in the overworld. It gives a bit of EXP, though not much. Now, I know it might not seem like it, but this video took a ton of time and effort to make with all new recording and editing gear. So if you could hit the like button, I'd super appreciate it, and consider subscribing to the channel. It helps out a lot and motivates me to keep making these videos. I appreciate it, guys. Now, the moment is finally here. The first truly challenging battle in the game is going to be our second battle with our rival, Nemona. And she's got some tricks up her sleeve this time. She's going to lead with her Quaxly, of course. We start with Tarantula. Now, this is a pretty neutral matchup, Bug versus Water. We're also both level 8. However, what I'm scared of here is I don't know Quaxly's moves. He is a duck after all, so a peck is what I'm scared of. But he goes for the workup. Now, this is definitely a bit scary. He's going to raise his attack and special attack by 1 stage. Now, we are slower here, unfortunately, but we get the attack off. We go second and hit him with the Struggle Bug. Now, this doesn't deal very much damage, but we do manage to lower his special attack, negating the boost from the workup. However, he is still +1 physical attack. Tarantula is not dealing enough damage. We need to take down this Quaxly as soon as possible before he gets too powerful from using workup, and the only Pokemon for the job is Sprigatito. And this is a risky switch, and not knowing if he has a flying type move, but Quaxly goes for yet another workup. Now, this is definitely getting spooky. Quaxly is a duck after all, so if he has Peck or Wing Attack or some physical flying type move we are toast. Luckily, we're faster now. We outspeed and hit him with the leafage. It's super effective and deals huge damage, but it's not enough to take him out. We have to get another attack off here, which means surviving another turn. And what's so scary about these blind Nuzlocke is we don't know what Quaxly has in his move arsenal, but he goes for yet another workup. And he's now +3 physical attack. Even if he doesn't use a super effective move, even if he went for scratch or something, that could have done some huge damage to us, and with a crit could have even possibly one-shot. But we take out the Quaxly, and I don't know what the AI was thinking there, just spamming workup 3 times, but either way, we've got out of that battle unscathed. However, Nemona still has one Pokemon left to deal with, and she sends out the new Gen 9 Pikachu clone, Pawmi, the electric doggy Pokemon. But Nemona's not done yet, as she whips out the Terrasolizing Crystal. That's right, it's only the first round of the game, and we're already seeing the new Gen 9 gimmick. She's gonna go ahead and Terrasolize the Pawmi into an electric type Terrasolize. This gives its electric type stab moves a 2x boost in power, which is more powerful than the standard 1.5x boost it normally gets. We're not playing around, we attack with Leafage, and it deals big damage just over about half his health. Pawmi goes for the Thunder Shock. It's 2 times as powerful thanks to the Terrasolizing, but luckily we type resist. Electric is not very effective against Sprigatito's grass type. However, we do get paralyzed, and this can be quite annoying. We don't want to risk switching out even into Diglett. We don't know if this Pawmi has any powerful physical attacks like a tackle or any normal type moves. We decide staying in is the best play here and the safest play. We get hit with another Thunder Shock. We are now slower, and again we type resist. It doesn't deal that much damage. We fire back with the Leafage, and Pawmi goes down. And that's GG Nemona. Now I know what you might be thinking. We were a bit over leveled for that fight, but that goes both ways. This is a blind Nuzlocke, and there's going to be plenty of battles in the future where we are actually under level. As we defeat Nemona, she gives us 3 useless revives as we turn towards the big gates of the main city of this region, Mesagoza. Sorry. But we make our way inside and run into Team Star, and I actually love Team Star. They're an awesome evil team. They're the evil team of this game, and this battle is even more challenging than Nemona. Definitely the hardest battle in the game up till this point. Well, it was for me at least. So Team Star's gonna go ahead and send out Shroodle, and we lead with, once again, Tarantula. And this theme song is such a banger. This is one of the coolest battle themes I think I've ever heard. But we don't know this thing's typing. We don't know what type Shroodle is. I guess it's either bug or poison. Either way, we get outspeed and hit with the scratch. Fire back with the struggle bug. It's not going to deal that much damage, but we lower his special attack. Unfortunately, it does seem like he is a physical attacker. Now, at this point, I think I thought it was a bug type. And if you look at our team, we don't have a very good switch in for that. I also had a feeling it could be poison. However, our only good switch into that, Diglett, is really frail, but we're going to have to risk it. We switch Tarantula out and send out the one and only Diglett. Now, if this thing is a poison type, we'll be able to hit him hard with the ground type move, but we have to survive an attack first. However, Shroodle goes for the Leer, and we are safe for this turn. However, this is super scary. Diglett is frail enough as it is. Now, after the Leer, this is really bad. We outspeed and go for Mud Slap. It's super effective, confirming that Shroodle is, in fact, a poison type, and we get the accuracy drop as well. Shroodle goes for Leer again, but he misses, and I don't know what's up with the AI and going for status reduction moves or status boosting moves when it has a clear opportunity to go for an attack, but we capitalize on that and finish it off with one more Mud Slap. And that's it for the first Team Star battle, but the second one is where I really got into trouble. Now, these are back-to-back battles, but we do heal in between. Team Star is going to lead with the Yungoos, and we lead with Tarantula yet again. But this time with Nemona as our cheerleader and coach on the side, we now can Terrasolize. And without further ado, we're going to let it rip. We're not going to waste any time here. We're going to Terrasolize right at the start of the battle. This Yungoos is definitely a threat, and here we go. And I have to say, for all of the shade I gave Terrasolizing, I thought it looked kind of goofy. I thought it was super whack when we saw the previews before the game came out, but in this moment, I actually thought it was pretty cool. The bug Terra type with the little bug hat thing looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. And it's definitely a hype moment. Using it for yourself the first time in battle, and considering you get it super early in the game, is pretty awesome. But Yungoos is faster. He goes for the Leer, and our defense drops yet again. The opponent going for status moves. But we fire back with the 2 times effective struggle bug. It's going to hit him hard and lower his special attack. However, Yungoos does seem to be a physical attacker. We go for the finishing blow with another struggle bug, but Yungoos attacks first with the bite. It's not very effective, but still does big damage, and we flinch. Now we're actually in big trouble here. We're slower, our defense is lowered, and we needed to get another attack off. It would be really bad to lose a Pokemon this early. We have to survive another attack here. We go for Struggle Bug again. Young Goose goes for the tackle, this time using a stab move, and we just barely survive. We're able to get off the Struggle Bug, and thanks to the power boost from the Terrasilize, we finish off the Young Goose in 2 blows. And definitely without the extra damage boost from the Terrasilize here, we very well could have lost the Pokemon. That would have been a bad situation. And that's GG for Team Star. Now, this is the first really dangerous situation we've been in this Nuzlocke run, definitely foreshadowing as to what's to come. Now, after defeating Team Star, we make our way up towards the school where we will be attending Pokemon classes, and we're going to spend the rest of the video taking classes, talking about math and biology, and making new friends at the Pokemon school. We continue our journey on our way to the next town to challenge the first gym and choose Starly as our next encounter. Now, as much as I want to catch a bunch of new Pokemon, unfortunately, I had it spoiled for me at this point that the first gym is Bug and the second gym is Grass. And this is all I know. I try to avoid spoilers the best I can to make it a true blind run, but now knowing this new information, I would like to not lose the run almost immediately. So Starly seems like a great fit here. Having a flying type and the Intimidate ability as well will be super helpful. But anyways, we come across our first raid battle for the first time in this game. We had to check it out, and it's definitely a bit nerve-wracking. We don't know what to expect here. At first I thought I made a mistake. It's not worth it. We're gonna wipe. But then we see that 2 of our partners send out Miraidon. We've got 2 Miraidons on our team. So I'm checking everything out, trying to figure out how everything works. We try to Terrasilize, but it doesn't work. And before we can even get an attack off, the Dragon Terrasilize Igglybuff goes down, and it looks like our teammates did the job for us. We didn't even have to do anything. Definitely an underwhelming experience doing a raid battle for the first time, but it could have gone way worse. At least we didn't wipe. But alas, we finally arrived to the first gym town. And check this out. Look how awesome this town looks with the rain and the buildings. This game looks awesome. I don't care what anybody says. But we make our way to the gym and prepare for what Pokemon Violet's first gym leader has got in store for us. So here we go, just like all of the gyms in this game. First things first is we have to defeat the gym challenge, which in this case involves kicking a giant bean-shaped soccer ball into a net. And now that that's completed, it's time to battle Katie, the first gym leader, and her bug-type Pokemon. She leads with Nimble, and we're going to start with, of course, Staravia, who will carry us through most of this battle. And the gym battle theme music in this game is kind of trash, so we're going to keep rocking with the Hoenn music. We get off the Intimidate, and this is a big reason why I chose Starly over some of the other flying-type options. It's so good to have Intimidate, especially early in the game, where a lot of Pokemon are physical attackers. But we one-shot the Nimble with a wing attack, and her first 2 Pokemon are pretty much fodder. The real challenge doesn't come until she sends out her ace. But she sends out Tarantula next. Now notice how we're holding the Terrasilize. We don't want to use it yet because we don't know what to expect. But for now, we're going to one-shot the Tarantula with another wing attack. And Staravia just making this battle look easy. I knew as soon as I saw it, it would be a good option for the early game, and I'm not regretting it at this point. But last but not least, Katie's ace is actually a pretty big threat as she sends out Teddy Ursa. And remember, we don't know what this thing has. It could have a rock type move or something, but we assume that she's going to Terrasilize into a bug type on this turn, so this is what we've been holding ours for. We're going to go ahead and Terrasilize Staravia, and just these balloons, man, not really feeling them. Definitely not as cool as the bug type Terra type. I don't know, I think the Terra hats that you get are really hit or miss. Some of them look cool, but some of them just look stupid in my opinion. But speaking of the bug Terra type, Katie's going to go ahead and Terrasilize Teddy Ursa into the bug Terra type. This is going to give a boost in power to any bug type moves that Teddy Ursa has. But it also makes him weak to flying now. We hit him with the wing attack, but it's not enough to one-shot. He retaliates with Fury Swipes, and that's kind of doing a lot of damage. 2, 3 hits? 5 would have been enough to take us out. We just got lucky from good RNG, and we can thank the RNG gods for this dub. We finish him off with a quick attack, and that's GG Gym Leader Katie. Now, as we continue our journey along the way, Sprigatito's gonna go ahead and evolve into Florigato. Florigato. It sounds Italian or something. And something I forgot to mention earlier is, if you couldn't tell by now, we're not nicknaming our Pokemon. I felt it's best for a new game. I want to learn the names of all the cool new Pokemon, and nicknames just is not necessary in my opinion. But we have a second evolution as well, as Tarantula evolves into Spider. And it's an alright design, I guess, but definitely not as cool as Florigato. We come across a cool new Pokemon and choose Cloth to be our encounter for this route. And we were not prepared for this. Cloth is a strong single evolution Pokemon. It does not evolve, so its base stats are pretty solid as is. And it's a rock type, so we're at a type disadvantage, so we protect on turn 1 just to scout its moves. But this could be dangerous, so we switch Spidops out for Florigato. Now remember, we only have one chance to catch this thing. If we have to run, we forfeit our encounter for this route, but this thing's dangerous. We don't want to lose any Pokemon of our own in the process. We opt to attack with Bite here instead of Seed Bomb. We don't want to do too much damage. We've just got to get them low enough till we can catch them. We want to catch them without killing them. After getting them down to about half health, we try a Great Ball, but we are unsuccessful. We get hit with the Rock Smash. It doesn't deal much damage, but our defense is lowered, and this is getting spooky now. We really want to get an Intimidate off here, so we make a risky play and switch our Flying type into a Rock type move. We lower his attack successfully, get hit with the Rock Throw, and take some big damage. Now that we got the Intimidate off, we want to get Staravia out of there as soon as possible, so we switch him out for Fido. Now it's really not worth losing a Pokemon over this encounter, so we get off some last minute chip damage with the Covet. We throw one final Great Ball in a last ditch effort, and the Cloth is captured. And man, Cloth is a really strong Pokemon. Let's hope we don't have to face him again. What? What is this? Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan. So I kind of just ran into this thing and not knowing what to expect. Definitely you're not prepared for battle. This thing looks insanely strong and it doesn't even have a level. How do we know how strong this thing even is? Just thank God we were leading with Floragato. So we have the type advantage and we're not going to waste any time. We go ahead and Terrasilize right off the bat. And this time we don't have to worry about catching them. So we're going to hit them as hard as we can. We Terrasilize into the Grass Terra type and this one looks alright. Definitely better than the Flying type. Not quite as cool as the Bug one in my opinion. But either way, it's going to boost our Grass type attacks to a ×2 multiplier. And it's effectively a 4 times multiplier, being super effective against Rock. We hit him with the Seed Bomb. It doesn't one-shot him, but we get him super low, and Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan, will retreat down the mountain. So this thing isn't all that strong. However, we were lucky we had a correct lead in Floragato having the type advantage, but this is only part 1 of the battle. So we chase him down the side of the mountain, but Cloth eats the magical, power-up herb and gets a huge power-up, but luckily our friend Arvin is here to help us tag team. But this is pretty cool how it's a 2-part battle, and this is one of the main storylines in the game, one of them being the gym challenges. This one is defeat all the Titans, and the third being defeat Team Star. And this is one of 5 Titans in the game that we have to defeat, and although this one doesn't seem too hard, I can definitely see potential for these Titans being really dangerous later on in the game. But we definitely don't want to underestimate this thing, so we waste no time, and we're going to Terrasilize right away once again. And remember, this thing is powered up now, so we're not going to be able to one-shot him like we did last time. We're going to hit him with everything we've got. We've got our strongest Pokemon out front. We fire off the Seed Bomb, and it doesn't deal nearly as much as it did last time, doing less than half health. And Cloth definitely got way tankier. He's going to go ahead and attack with Rock Smash now into Shelter, but it doesn't look like his attack got boosted by much. Shelter goes for Leer, and now this is perfect because we can hit him with a hard-hitting physical Grass-type move, and now with his defense lowered, it'll be enough to finish him off. We fire off the Seed Bomb, and Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan, goes down. Now, this thing is not as strong as he looks. However, this was pretty scary. It makes me think ahead to all of the Titans that are yet to come. Definitely have potential to be a huge problem. But that's the first of 1 of 5 Titans down. Cloth, the Stony Cliff Titan, GG. So we run into a Palmy, and you know what? Ever since that Titan battle, I'm not a fan of Cloth anymore. And this is still the same route, but I'm going to invoke a rule that says I can opt to change my encounter on a route if the first encounter was successfully caught and has not been used in battle. And since we haven't used Cloth at all, we're going to switch him out for Palmy. I mean, sometimes you just run into Pokemon later in the route that are too good to pass up. I mean, look at this thing. It's Palmy. It's a little electric doggy Pokemon. We have to catch it. And after a couple unsuccessful tries, we throw the last Pokeball and Palmy is captured. Now, there's kind of 2 main ways you can go from the starting point in this game. The map is completely open world. However, before heading to the second gym, we're going to head over to the other side of the map to get another encounter first. And we find a Charcadet. This is a thing that evolves into Ceruledge. This is one of the coolest Pokemon that I've been looking forward to getting in this game. But at what cost? Now, this encounter was a rough one. We're starting at a disadvantage. We're already down. We sent Palmy into an Ember and got burned, but this is one of the main reasons I wanted Palmy is we fire off the Nuzzle and get the Paralysis. This will make Charcadet easier to catch. But then Charcadet goes for the Fire Spin, and this is probably the worst case scenario. Now, we can't even switch Palmy out, and we're at pretty low health being burned as well. And it all comes down to this. Palmy is too low to survive another attack, so we either have to throw a ball and risk not catching it and losing Palmy, or we throw a Pokédoll and forfeit the encounter. And we just caught this Palmy, but I really want that Charcadet. So we gotta do it for the content, decide to YOLO it, and go for the Great Ball. And with Palmy's life at stake, we get 3 shakes, and that's Charcadet captured. And if you were hoping to see me lose a Pokemon, just wait till what comes next. Now we run into a random trainer battle, and I wasn't recording it at the time, but realized I was in serious danger and smashed that record button. Speaking of smashing buttons, you should smash that subscribe button too. But here we go, we're facing an Oinkologne. We led with Fido, realized how hard the thing was hitting, and switched to Staravia to get off and Intimidate, and got hit with another Play Rough. And the health health that Oinkologne is missing is from wing attack, so we're not dealing much damage here. So we go for the Endeavor instead, and it deals a bit more. Oinkologne goes for Play Rough, and we are low. Staravia is in trouble here. We've got to switch him out. So we send out Spidops, who is currently our tankiest Pokemon. We're going to have to take a hit here now, and we don't know what moves this thing's got in his arsenal. And Oinkologne goes for the Zen Headbutt. Definitely an unusual move from Oinkologne, but we tank it pretty well. The first thing we want to do is Silk Trap. This acts as a Protect, but it also has the added effect where if the opponent makes a contact move, which he does by going for Play Rough, his speed will be lowered. We want to do everything we can to cripple this thing as much as possible. Oinkologne attacks with Play Rough. Spidops hanging in there, taking it like a champ. We fire back with the Pounce, and it's going to lower his speed even more. Notice after the Silk Trap, we were still slower, so that additional speed drop from the Pounce should help us out now. We're going to Silk Trap again because there's no real reason not to. We protect ourselves this turn and lower Oinkologne's speed even more. He is now -3 speed. Finally, after all the speed drops, we get to attack first. We go for the Struggle Bug, and it's not dealing very much damage at all. Though Spidops is tanky, he doesn't deal very much damage either. We get hit with another Play Rough, and Spidops still hanging in there. We fire off one last Pounce to finish off the Oinkologne, and man, that thing was scary. But the worst is yet to come. Our foe is about to send out Luxio. However, we are playing on set mode, so we're going to stay in, and out comes the Luxio. Luxio intimidates us. As if our attack wasn't already low enough, now it's going to be even lower. We go for Silk Trap just to scout and see what kind of moves this thing's going to be using, and it goes for the Fire Fang. This Luxio knows Fire Fang, and we would have been toast if we didn't protect there. At least we'll drop his speed, but man, are we in trouble. And we don't really have anyone that can switch into a Fire Fang. Both of our strongest Pokemon are both weak to fire. A whole bunch of the team is under leveled, and man, what are we gonna do here? Charcadet resists fire, but he's 6 levels under leveled. Both Fido and Staravia are neutral to fire, but are both low on HP. Now we're still holding back our Terrasilize. We have to use it at the right moment. Now is not the time yet. If we don't execute it perfectly, we're definitely gonna lose some party members here. After some long, hard thought, I decided that sacrificing Spidops here is the correct play. Unfortunately, this will be our first death of the run, but before that, we get off one final Struggle Bug, lower Luxio's special attack, and we go down to the Fire Fang. And this one hurt. Spidops was our first ever encounter in the game, super valuable to the team, and he will be missed. But we have to think of a way to save the most amount of party members as possible, so unfortunately, Spidops had to get sacrificed. Spidops' Noble Sacrifice allows us a free switch in, and we go into Palm. This seems like the best play. We electric resist Luxio's stab moves, and we have a super effective move in Dig. We are faster. Luxio attacks with Psychic Fangs. This thing's move arsenal is crazy. But despite being super effective, it doesn't even deal that much damage. Luxio attacks with Psychic Fangs, and Palmy goes down in one shot. And that is now 2 deaths, both to this random trainer. Man, it's always the random trainers when you least expect it. And this random trainer caught us lacking. The Nuzlocke is definitely starting to feel real at this point. But our team is looking rough, and this Luxio has insane type coverage. We're going to have to send someone in to get the job done and take this thing out ASAP before we lose any more party members. At this point, there's really only one Pokemon that can get the job done. So we go into our trusty old Florgato. And this is risky. We know Luxio knows Fire Fang, but the plan here is to outspeed, and this is what we've been holding the Terrasilize for. We're going to hit him hard and hope to take him out in one final blow. The Pokemon we started this whole journey with. We're going to Terrasilize our strongest Pokemon, Florgato, giving him the Grass Terra type, boosting his Grass type moves to a ×2 multiplier. We fire off our hardest hitting move, the Seed Bomb, and it's enough to take down the Luxio. And man, what a battle. But I think we're going to cut the video there. Stay tuned for part 2, where we're really going to pick up the pace, battle the 2nd and 3rd gyms, take on some more Titans, and battle Team Star. This is my first time making a video like this, so I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment. I always love to hear feedback from you guys, and let me know what you think. This has been the Pokemon Violet Hardcore Nuzlocke Part 1, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.